Good evening from my part of the world.
Senior, Joe.
Good evening from my part of the world. I trust you are well and safe. I trust you are well and safe. Good evening from my part of the world. I trust. A quick one. 2026, we are in. A quick one. Let's look at the wisdom audit. Something I would have done in my coaching class. But for you being on my page and a follower, let me share this with you freely. The wisdom audit. This is designed to dismantle the naive mindset and replace it with the grounded authority required for our rising in order to challenge us to move from being ordinary, being simple, to being strategically wise. It doesn't mean you are not wise. The key word here is strategically. Strategically. Yes. Strategically. It doesn't mean you are not wise. The key word here is strategically. So the main focus is, are you humble or you are just vulnerable? Are you humble or you are just vulnerable? Are you humble or you are just vulnerable? True humility is strength under control. So sometimes when people come from the angle of, I'm a humble person, I'm like, are we missing something here? True humility is like, it's misrepresented, just like submission is. If you don't have anything you offer, if you don't have a life of your own, if you don't have something to present, and you say you are submissive, what are you submitting? So humility is strength under control. For us to say, I'm a humble person, you're a humble person means you have strength, but it's under control. It's not a weakness under a veil. It's all because we don't know what we are about. You are so much of strength, and yet it is under control. That is humility. So true humility is strength under control, not weakness under a veil. So these are 5 questions to help you identify where you lack or where lack of knowledge might be inviting exploitation. When many of you hear lack of knowledge, it seems insulting. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Whenever we hear lack of knowledge, we think the person is, how do you even put it? Or you too know, or Felisa, he or she knows it all. No, 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 no. That's me some years ago. Anytime we hear lack of knowledge, it's not insulting, it's not derogatory. As a matter of fact, every area in our life we are struggling, it means we lack knowledge in that area. And lack of knowledge is not insulting at all. When somebody tells us we lack knowledge in a certain area of our lives. So these are 5 questions to identify where our lack of knowledge might be inviting exploitation. 2026, we all want it to be a meaningful year. It's not a matter of praying and fasting, anticipating, wishing, desiring. No, it's a matter of putting strategic systems and structures in place. If not, I'm not a prophet of doom. It will just go like every other year goes. Because we can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. That is, as somebody said, so no, it can't be. We can't go through life doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. So these are 5 questions that, just like I said, I'm giving it to you for free. I would normally have addressed this in my coaching. It's a paid class, but I'm giving it to you because you happen to be on my page. Use these 5 questions to identify where your lack of knowledge might be inviting exploitation. Do you get it? Okay, so now let's move in there. Question 1, the financial gates. The financial gates. And the question is, do I avoid looking at my bank statements or bank details, my financial details, my Momo balance? All of these fall within financial details. So do I avoid looking at my financial details, money in my any form of wallets, my Momo balance, my bank details? Do I avoid looking at them because money doesn't matter to me, or I'm afraid of what I'll find? Some people are struggling, relationships are struggling, couples are struggling. If you are struggling financially, definitely your family is struggling financially too. This one is not the devil, it's not the Satan, it's nothing. It is when you are struggling financially because money doesn't come in much, and yet you spend money. Every day you are spending money, but every day you are not receiving money. Financially, you struggle. It is not the devil's fault. So the question is, do I avoid looking at my financial details because money is not a problem, or because I'm afraid of what I will see? If you are financially solvent, then this is not for you. But those of us who are still working to get there, then this is for us. You can adopt it and adapt any of them. Are you struggling to check your financial details because money is not a problem for you? Everything you want financially at your beck and call, things happen. You swipe your MasterCard and you get things done. You don't struggle with your children's fees. Everything you want in the home, as far as it has to do with money, you are not struggling. You just get it. You think about it and it's done. Hooray. Then this is not for you. But if financially you think you can do more, become more, and give more, then number one question for you is the financial gates. Do I avoid looking at my financial details because money doesn't matter to me, or I am simply afraid of what I'll find? And the wisdom shift is, ignorance isn't holiness. Yes, I repeat, ignorance isn't holiness. It is a lack of stewardship. A wise woman knows exactly what comes in and what goes out. I'm thinking of the woman because you are the man and you think you have enough. You think you know it all. You think you can put anything on the table and that's okay. But for the woman, that when she doesn't have, her children will equally struggle. That's why I said the woman. But as a man, if you know your family is struggling financially because you are also struggling financially, then this is for you too. Yeah, yeah. Ignorance isn't holiness, it's a lack of stewardship. A wise woman knows exactly what comes in and what goes out. You don't wake up and ask what happened to my money because you don't know what is coming in and what is going out. That every time you need money, you would have to borrow, you would have to beg people, you would have to tell lies before you get the basic needs. If you don't want that kind of life again and you want to build your financial solvency, then this is for you. You have to know what is coming in and what is going outside. It's not every time you have to beg people for their crumbs. So if you are working at your financial solvency, then this question is for you. Financial literacy is a form of self-respect where when you need something, you won't go lie to people for them to throw their crumbs at you. Your basic needs, you'll be able to provide for them. Financial literacy is a form of self-respect. Number 2, the relationship discernment. The relationship discernment. The relationship discernment. And the question is, Am I ignoring red flags and even non negotiables in the name of being a forgiving and humble person? Am I ignoring red flags, even non negotiables, under the pretext of being a forgiving person, a peaceful person? When you hear people say silence is golden, and I just wink and pass, because silence is not golden when your mental health is affected. So, number two, the relationship discernment. And the question is, am I ignoring red flags, even non negotiables, in the name of being a forgiving, a peaceful person, a humble person, when your mental health is being affected? When your mental health is affected, silence is not golden. The wisdom shifts is forgiveness is for the soul, but you see, boundaries are for the behavior. Forgiveness is for the soul, but boundaries are for the behavior. Humility does not mean allowing a tormentor to have a key to your peace. That people can exploit you, take you for granted. I mean, treat you anyhow, and you accept it because you're a forgiving person, you're a peaceful person, you're a humble person. 2026, you can't live like that. Your soul will bleed. In as much as the world, the people exploiting you will see you as a humble person, a peaceful person, you see, you would have the painful conversation with your own self, where you have to face your own, where you would have to face your own. So find something to do when you want to work with this internal shift. Because when everybody sees you as forgiving, because they can treat you anyhow when you are not bothered, your soul will bleed. Your soul will bleed. Once they see you as a forgiving person, you would have to come to terms with your own disconnect. Humility does not mean allowing a tormentor to have a key to your peace. Discernment is the architecture of protection. 2026, there are issues you would have to address. The difficult yet necessary conversation that people are not supposed to just throw anything at you in the name of, under the pretext of being a peaceful person, a forgiving person, a humble person, whilst your soul is bleeding, whilst your mental health is at stake. So the number two question is the relationship discernment. And the question is, am I ignoring red flags and even non negotiables in the name of being a forgiving, a humble, and a peaceful person? Under the pretext of being a peaceful person, when everybody thinks you are a peaceful person, and yet deep down, you would have to deal with your own resentment. Is that what you want? No. Discernment is the architecture of protection. So don't let the whole world, the people around you, the tormentors, those who are exploiting you feel and think, oh, as for her, she's a forgiving person. Oh, as for him, he won't even talk. Whereby you are dealing with your own inward resentment. You are dealing with your own inward resentment because you allow everybody to take you for granted, to exploit you. No. So the number two question is the relationship discernment. The wisdom shift is forgiveness is for the soul, but boundaries are for the behavior. Humility does not mean allowing a tormentor, an exploiter, to have a key to your peace. Discernment is the architecture of protection. Number three, the professional call. The professional call. Whatever your hands find to do in 2026, whether it's your career, your job, your work, you know there's a difference between your work and your job, right? Yes. Whatever aspect of your life, whether it's a vocation, a profession, whatever you want to do with your life this year. Something you give and you are paid in return, being it your profession, your career, your vocation. The question is, am I refusing to learn new skills or technology because I'm content with my old ways? Is there a line of progression for me? Some people have worked in institutions, whether private or public, for 10, 20 years, and they are still at the baseline because you don't grow in anything. The way you do your things for all these years is the same baseline. You are not improving in your new skills. You are not adapting to technology, your old ways, and that is okay for you. No. If you want to rise in 2026, there are questions you have to ask yourself. Am I refusing to learn new skills or technology because I'm content with my old ways? The world is running at a pace and we are comfortable in our old ways. Technology won't learn, new skills won't learn, just that the base level, the baseline level, we can't grow. We can become better, we can become more, we can do more, and we can give more. Is there a line of progression for you in your career, in your profession, in your job, in your work? Is there any line of progression for you or waka? The wisdom shift is contentment is peace, but you see, stagnation is the risk. So don't just feel like, oh, I have to be content, and because of that, there is no growth for you. Being content doesn't mean you are not growing. That is when you accept contentment with ambition hand in hand. You enjoy where you are, but you know you can become more, you can do more, and you can equally give more. So the wisdom shift is contentment is peace, yes, but stagnation is a risk. Stagnation is a risk. To glorify God with your hands in 2026, you must keep your tools sharp. To glorify God with your hands in 2026, you must keep your tools sharp. What tools am I talking about? Your work, your skills, the technology you need to use to make work easier and beautiful for you. To glorify God with your hands in 2026, you must keep your tools sharp. Don't be at the baseline level. Grow, find ways of becoming more, becoming better. Excellence requires constant evolution. We are not supposed to be the same, go through the year the same, just at the baseline level. No, we are supposed to evolve. Number 4, the inner circle influence. The inner circle influence. And the question is, do I let other people make major decisions for my life because I trust them more than my own conscience? Do I allow people to make major decisions for my life because I trust them more than my own conscience? Do I live bits and pieces of other people's lives without knowing where I am going with my life? The wisdom shift is respecting a mentor is wise. We are all a sum total of what we learn from people, either directly or indirectly. There are coaches I still pay them and work with them. But do I delegate my destiny to their advice? Heck no. Respecting a mentor is wise, but delegating your destiny is naive. You are the only one authorized, the authorized architect of your life. So take the wheel back. Be in the driver's seat of your own life. Yes. Be in the driver's seat of your own life. Number 5, the conflict resolution. The question is, do I stay silent during mistreatment to keep the peace or because I don't know how to advocate for myself? Just like I said, there is a conflict that needs to be addressed, and you are coming from the angle of I want peace, so I won't say anything, I won't address it. You address it because you don't know how to advocate for yourself. You don't have the tools to solve that conflict, or people should just throw anything and everything at you, your soul will bleed. You would have to deal with your own inner resentment while the other person sees you as a peaceful person. No, you can't go through life like that. So the question is, do I stay silent during mistreatment to keep the peace, or because I don't know how to advocate for myself? The wisdom shift is, peace that requires your silence is actually a prison. A classy woman, a classy man knows how to speak truth with grace. True peace is established through clarity, not avoidance. So, anytime you're afraid to deal with the conflict, it doesn't mean you are classy. It doesn't mean you are peaceful. It doesn't mean you are humble. All it means is you don't know how to advocate for yourself. And in this life, if people get to know you don't know how to advocate for yourself, they will exploit you so thy kingdom come. Yes, you have to learn to be assertive. You have to learn to speak for yourself, to advocate for yourself, so people don't exploit you and take you for granted forever. Yes, and the bonus question is your spirituality. Don't just take pride in belonging to a religious setup. Find God for yourself. Your spirituality is not about the number of times you have to be in a religious setting. It is about you knowing God for yourself and calling Him Abba Father, going to Him as the image and likeness He created you to be. It is not the number of times you are in your religious setting that determines your religiosity. Move away from religion and find spirituality where you can connect to God wherever you are. Not just belonging to a religious organization whereby collectively you are known, but you can't find God for yourself. You can call Him Abba Father. You have no relationship with Him aside what you do at your religious setup. So 2026, if we want it to be a meaningful year, it wouldn't come by fasting and praying, desiring, anticipating, and wishing, all the synonyms. It would come by being strategically wiser. So think about these things. I passed there to remind you briefly. Think about these things. In the comment section, you can equally add any other question you are working on too, so other people can get it from you. 2026 is not just supposed to be a year on any other year, like any other year on the calendar. It's a year that you say, I am in charge and I will make the year meaningful. Yes, a year that you will make it meaningful. It is not just supposed to be like any other year. It is a year that you take charge of your life, you arise and build the life you desire. For yes, it is possible. Everything is possible to the soul that is ready. But it doesn't come by praying and fasting, wishing and anticipating. It comes when we arise and make it work. So these are the questions that I have carved, designed for your audits. It doesn't apply to everybody, just like I say, everything I share is not for everybody. Yeah. If it's for you, you can adopt it and adapt it. You can add more questions. Your life is as a result of the questions you answer. Yeah. So you can also have your own questions, not necessarily what I am using. But you cannot just go through the year anticipating for a better life when you don't put better system and structures in place. You cannot live anyhow like everybody else and expect to have a good life this year. We have to be strategically wise. And that comes with systems and structures. So, yes, these are questions I have crafted. If they don't resonate with you, that's okay. But if they do, please take them serious. So we'll be able to dismantle that naive mindset and replace it with a more grounded authority required for our rising in order to challenge us to move from being ordinary to being strategically wiser. Strategically wiser. And just like I said, anytime you hear people say lack of knowledge, it's not because they are insulting us. No, that's the way I used to be. No, the typical primitive African girl challenging, rebut. No, any area of our life that we are struggling, it means we need more knowledge in that area. Once we get more knowledge in that area, you realize that struggle just go away. So lack of knowledge is not an insult. All it means is we have to acquire more knowledge in whatever area of our lives we are struggling in. And these are the baseline I've given. You can carve, you can craft, you can design yours to support you in the year 2026. Many of the things we are praying and fasting and wishing and desiring will only come when we get to work. And we can only get to work when we have strategically programmed systems to help us, not just desiring for a better life. So this is my wisdom audit. If you resonate with you, you can work with it. If not, that is okay. You can equally learn it and also put in yours there so other people can also learn. But just like I said, the goal is not just to be create the impression that all is well with us, whereby our souls are bleeding. True humility is strength under control, not weakness under a veil. When the whole world think you are put together, oh, she's a peaceful person, he's a grounded person, when you know life is not going the way you anticipate. You are the architect of your life. So get into the driver's seat and make things happen this year. January is almost gone, but yes, still have the first quarter to turn things around. So these are the questions I'm leaving with you. Go to work with it. Once you begin working with these questions, trust me, you develop more questions out of it. And that will be specifically for you. It's like going to church and listening to what the preacher is preaching. He prepared not with you in mind. He might tell it's for you, but trust me, it wasn't for you. It is when you go back home and you meditate on the word that you get revelation for your life out of that same word. So, yes, these are questions. 5, I'll give you a bonus, and the bonus is critical because that has to do with your spirituality. When you sit down and get to work with these questions, you might get about 10, and that will be concerning your life. And I believe in that more than what any other person will teach us. Yes, that is the revelation concerning your own life. That is what came out of your own soul and your spirit. And those are the questions that once you are able to answer them, it brings total transformation. Total transformation. Transformation that is unique to your evolution. So I pass by quickly, briefly, to share this with you. Get to work with it. 2026 is not supposed to be like any other year. But we cannot go through the year like every other year and still expect a different result. A different result will only come when we do things differently and we do things better. And this can only happen when you have strategies in place. So I've shared these 5 questions with you, with a bonus, an important one, making it 6. Get to work with it. You can get up to 10 and you can work with it to get into the transformation you need to get this year. Let's be each other's accountability partner. 2026, yes, it's an awesome year, but it's not just words, it is words imbibed in action. So think about these things until I come your way again. Much love.